being perhaps a bit disappointed in their body. And my question to you is, what if it was the other way around? What if we've actually let our bodies down because we're not in tune with them? We're not connected. We're not picking up on the signals and the messages that they're sending us. Welcome to Starwave and Goddess. Welcome, beautiful woman. Thank you for joining. I'm so grateful that you're here. And just a reminder before we get started, if you want to follow more of my content, head across to Instagram at Starwoven Goddess, and you can follow along and like and follow on here as well. I do have a free goddess activation. It's just 15 minutes long, and that can really help support you on your journey. So feel free, there should be a link below in the comments, but also again on Instagram if you prefer to get started that way. Okay, so let's get started then. Today, I want to share something that's been going on for me for the last couple of weeks. And I've been having a really deep clearing that has consisted mainly of clearing from my chest and from my throat. So lots of mucus coming up, a deep chesty cough, and a bit of a fever as well. And I've been really careful and mindful to view this very much as a clearing and as a detox and a way that my body is getting rid of what's no longer needed. So, like a purge as such, and realigning itself and resetting itself. Whereas other people have perhaps been saying, oh, so you're poorly or you're ill or you're unwell. And that is not how I want to be putting it out there into the universe. Poor in my in my health, in my um, vitality, in my energy. No, that is not what I want to be saying. So very much viewing it as a clearing and in a really positive way, because our bodies are always trying to work in our favor. Even when we have symptoms that we might view as a negative, but it's really just our bodies, like, tap in and saying, hey, listen up. I need some attention, please. Something's not right over here. I'm just giving you a heads up. So it's really your body's way of communicating with you. And it's always trying to get back into balance. Now, in the Western world, well, yeah, in this day and age, it is a lot harder to do that sometimes because of the lifestyle and the environments that we're exposed to. So, most women are living in a world of stress, running on empty, not much rest or downtime, perhaps poor sleep. There are toxins in the air, in our water, in all the chemicals in the skincare. Food also contains toxins and perhaps is quite nutrient lacking as well. And then, of course, there's pharmaceutical medication that is also impacting, as well as many other things. Those are just a few examples. So when I was going through this, I was really mindful that I wanted to allow my body to do what it needed to do. And for me, that was resting. So I didn't actually feel bad, but I didn't have very much energy at all. And I just knew that my body needed to rest. Now I've structured my lifestyle to be able to live in flow and take um take cues from spirit, from my body, of what's needed. So I was very much able to lean into that, and I spent a few days in bed. And coming on the other side, I was amazed. Look at the whites of my eyes. They're so clear. Not that they were bad before, they were pretty clear, but like a really noticeable. And feeling much clearer in my being and in my body, feeling lighter, got a lot more energy. So, really, for me, this has been a massive positive, and I'm very much viewing it like that. I was mindful not to hamper the process at all. And this can be delayed or even suppressed if we take paracetamol or something else to sort of reduce the fever. We've been taught that that is actually, what we should be doing. Oh, quick, nip it in the bud. Let's stop that happening. But actually, that stops your body detoxing and going through and completing the process that it started, and it takes it back to square one, and it might not be able to continue that process at that time. So then that's stored in your body. So I was very mindful to lean into this, and I did take some oil of oregano and some herbal supplements for my lungs, just to support my lungs. And that was, and obviously lots of rest and water, and just helped me to expel everything. And yeah, like I said, I feel like great on the other side of this. So when well, not even when we're going through something like that, but generally, women, people can be so quick to judge and blame their bodies, taking the viewpoint that they've let them down or they can't cope with this, and being perhaps a bit disappointed in their body. And my question to you is, what if it was the other way around? What if we've actually let our bodies down because we're not in tune with them? We're not connected. We're not picking up on the signals and the messages that they're sending us. And they're trying to help us, and we just aren't picking it up, aren't getting it. Like, when was the last time you thanked your body and thanked every cell in your body or a particular organ for keeping you alive, just functioning without you consciously having to instruct it to do anything, just taking care of your vitality, your wellness, your functioning? I do make a point of actually doing this on a regular basis, because there was a time where I just took my body for granted so much, just assumed it would turn up for me, do whatever it needs to do. And it was only when I went through like a prolonged period, I had a parasite, quite an intense parasite that I had picked up in India, and that impacted my health and energy levels quite severely. And that was for over, a couple of years. And it really made me appreciate my body and everything that goes on a totally different level. So I'm truly, truly grateful for that. And I'm pleased to say that I am, in a much different place now, in a much healthier relationship with my body as well. And it's not surprising that we are disconnected. We aren't encouraged to get to know our body, to understand it. And all conditions that impact our physical body actually start off energetically, so in our energy bodies. And again, a lot of us are disconnected from, because that's even more subtle, that's quite subtle messages that we might not be picking up on. So when we don't pick them up in the energy bodies, what happens is it makes its way down to our physical body, and that's where the condition then manifests. Same with unprocessed emotions. So that could be a range of different emotions, but some of the most common ones that really cause an impact: grief, anger, resentment. For me, it was a lot of shame and guilt that I was carrying and holding on to. And if you're not able to process, well, first of all, acknowledge them, work with them, process them, integrate them, which removes the intensity and allows them to sit comfortably within your being, because you've actually worked through the cause and the triggers and everything like that for them. Then if that's not done, again, that sits in your physical body. And emotions, especially ones such as like anger and resentment, you imagine what they're doing inside, like the cells of your body, that your organs, they're going to be in a very disjointed, fragmented, in a bitter way, like rotten, I want to say, as such. Like, it's not going to be full of vitality and health, is it? So that's just something to really be mindful of. And especially if you have had a lot of trauma in your life, and you have, if say you haven't actually dealt with that and talked that through, or received the support that you need to be able to work through that, and like I said, integrate some of what's happened and accept what's happened, then that sits there and that can impact the physical body massively. Now, I heard something once that really changed my perception of our bodies. And it was something along the lines of, to every cell in your body, however trillion, billion, I'm not even sure, cells we have in our body, like, we, the complete us here, are God to them. And they are trying to, they view us as God, and they are, of course, trying to please us. And that really changed my perspective. And that's what got me into talking to my body, to my cells, to different organs, to every, tissue, muscle, blood, capillary, vein, bone, etc. Because really, they're doing so much for us. So much for us. And even when it comes to conditions such as cancer, that is our body collecting defective cells, damaged cells, and collecting them and putting them in a place out, well, depends what's going on, but trying to get them out of the way of the rest of the function of your body. So it's like a cleanup job. And I thought that was really interesting way to view that. And that can have a massive impact on your healing capabilities and capacity as well. So if you find yourself in a situation like I've just gone through, and if it feels right for you, Maybe just try to reframe that. Instead of illness and sickness and disease, see it as healing, detoxing, healing, rebalancing, and realignment. That's what I wanted to share, just if any of this is helpful for you. Okay, then. Remember, Goddess, keep rising. The world needs your light. Stay true to you. Until next time.